we are back from yet another successful RWM with CIWM. Don't know about you, but my feet are tired. My voice is a bit husky from too much talking. But for us, I think it was a great event. For me, the byword was fresh. There was a lot fresh about the event this year. Starting with the location, we were up at the right end of the NEC, right next to the links with the rail and air travel. Got to make it more accessible to public transport. That was good. Fresh feel, the layout, it certainly worked for me. I hope it worked for our visitors. I suspect we'll get lots of feedback about that, but that was done deliberately, not by accident. A fresh feel, there was a lot of new blood at the event this year. I didn't count them, but I understand that pre-registrations from, let's call them our customer sectors, were up by 1/3 before the start of the event. That's fantastic. That's just the sort of development that we're looking for. Fresh for us, I hope you noticed, the CIWM was there with its new brand. That was important for us. It is a big step. It's supposed to be fresh and very visible. It's supposed to have impact. What we wanted to do was to show that the institution is forward-looking, is modern. We want to embrace all of the opportunities that have been presented to us. I think it'll be a success for us, and I have to say I got a lot of positive feedback about it from our visitors this year. Other elements of freshness, well, I can tell you that we got about 25% more leads, more introductions to the institution than we did at the 2013 event. To be honest with you, I think we might have done a little bit better, but I think we got close to being swamped at one stage. So a message from me to everybody who felt disappointed because they didn't quite get the chat that they wanted with CIWM. We will be following up. That will happen. Your input, your interest in the institution, really important to us. And there were other fresh things about the event this year, and I'll highlight the Circular Economy Connect area. We really wanted to demonstrate that this is where resource efficiency, resource thinking, it's really starting to impact on the business. Circular Economy Connect Theatre, I think that was a fantastic success. And more. We want feedback from the people who were there this year. Feedback, if such a thing is possible, from people who weren't there this year. We want to know, how do we build on what we did this year? How can we get more? And we've had an absolute blinding programme of speakers in all 3 of our theatres this year. Again, more feedback please. Who is it that you want to hear from? Do you want to hear more from manufacturers? Do you want to hear more about the pull of high quality materials from them, from our industry? Do you want to hear about technology introduction into our industry? What do you want to hear? And again, feedback please. And this year we were really lucky. We had 2 really high profile speakers in our theatres. First of course was Dan Rogerson, so good we had him twice. First of all by video and then again in person, and we had a really good full theatre to hear a really quite energetic message back from our Minister for Waste and Resources. And of course we had the Secretary of State for Communities and Local Government, Eric Pickles. Now he really did pull a good crowd and he stirred things up quite a bit. But isn't that good? This is an industry now that's got hard questions to face up to, things that we must not shy away from. Doesn't matter to me whether I give you material that you always agree with. Sometimes we've got to give you material that you don't agree with, and I'm just as interested, why is it that you found that you didn't agree with that? Because you need to understand that if we're going to move forwards. And that takes me nice and neatly, doesn't it, into this document, which is the RWM Ambassadors Ever Decreasing Circles. It's meant to be more than a think piece. It's meant to be a provocation piece. It's a report for everybody. I defy you to read it and find things in, and not find things in there that you think, yeah, I agree with that. But equally, I defy you to read it and find stuff in there that you don't think, oh, hang on a minute, I'm not too sure about that. Well, I quite like you being not too sure about stuff, because I'd like people to think, why don't I agree with that? Let's have a discussion. What's right? Let's face up to these hard questions in our industry. And a nice way to finish this shout out for the RWM ambassadors is that they had at their call a fund for 2014 of £15,000. There's a fantastic cause out there, just in the development still, waste aid, trying to focus skills and services into more disadvantaged parts of the world. Let's not forget, there are something like 3.5 billion people on this planet who don't have access to good waste and resource management services. Now at this stage in the evolution of waste aid, they really are brand new news. the ambassadors granting that £15,000 to them in that point in their history should be a real boost to their strength. So I'm delighted that the ambassadors made that gesture. More please, the ambassadors will be back with more provocation, more think piece, more expertise, more thinking. We'll be back at the RWM next year, September. Please be there. If you liked it this year, we'll build on that. If there was stuff that you disagreed with, tell me why, and we'll build on that. But come on, this is the industry coming together. More please.